Welcome, everyone. Joe with ECRM and RangeMe here. And with me today is one of our latest Walmart open call golden ticket winners, and that's Mr. Fresh. And with Mr. Fresh is Joshua Danrich, aka Mr. Fresh himself, and Shay Danrich, also known as Mama Fresh. So we're going to talk a little bit about their experience with open call. But before we get into that, could you give us a quick overview of your company and how it started? And actually, Joshua, how old you were when it started, too.
So first off, my name is Joshua Danrich, aka Mr. Fresh, and I am a 15-year-old founder of Mr. Fresh, which is an air freshener and deodorizer company. And this is my mom. She is Shay Danrich, and she's the co-founder of Mr. Fresh. Mr. Fresh is an air freshener and deodorizer company designed to eliminate odors from your cars and homes. We provide air care solutions to people to eliminate the odor, not just mask the smell. And I created a line of 6 famous fragrances actually, and I have Yellow Rose. I have Black Gold, Cool Breeze, Jasmine, Baby Powder, and Vanilla. And they smell amazing. And how I got started, it really started with the love and passion for cars. I loved cars and I wanted to own my own luxury sports car dealership at 10 years old. And then I asked my mom and she said, "No, Josh, you can't own your own luxury sports car dealership at 10 years old." And since I love STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, I asked her, "Can I make my own luxury car air freshener?" And she said yes. So now I'm working from one point to the next point to get to a luxury sports car dealership and to be an engineer designing my own luxury sports cars. And that's the goal.
Very cool. Very cool. So what was it like when you started? Like when you came up, because I know you came up with all the fragrances and
Yes.
what is that process like?
Well, he wanted me to explain what the process was like is that again, he was 10 years old when he started, but he actually was 9 when he came to me asking me could he have like started a luxury sports car dealership. And as I explained to him that at that moment in time in life, we could not basically start the luxury sports car dealership, but because he loves basically STEM and he loved basically just mixing and pouring and doing all those type of things, I encouraged him to go ahead and like chemically like engineer something to make the car smell good. And from there, so it started. So once I told him that he can go ahead and do that part, we were in the kitchen. We were making like all kind of potions and this like mixing with oils. I mean, anything you could think of from like, because like one of the main things he used to love doing was volcanoes. So he loved like seeing the volcanoes explode. How I had explained to him that with the scents and oil, we could not make those explode. So we were
Well,
mixing and pouring, and it all started from there.
boys like explosions when they're young.
Right.
I think we still do when we get older. It's just
Yeah,
the explosions are a little more dangerous when we get older. So,
exactly.
but that's a great example of the value of focus on STEM education and how it can actually turn into a whole company.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what was your journey like, Josh? What's it like being an entrepreneur at your age, right? You have school, right? You just
Right.
finished with school. So
Right.
how do you make it all work? How do you squeeze it in with school? But not only that, you also, you want to be a kid. You want to hang out with your friends and stuff.
Right.
How do you balance that all out?
Well, first off, being a young entrepreneur is very challenging, fun, and exciting. I have to inspire the youth. First, I get to inspire the youth and teach them that if I can start my own business, they can start their own business too. And I have to overcome many obstacles that come my way. These experiences help me to gain more knowledge because I'm all around business all day. So, me and also with managing school and business, I have to find the available time to coordinate with my friends to see when I can go hang out and do this or that with them. But mainly for me and my life and my lifestyle, school and business are the main things for me because that's what I'm all about. I'm Mr. Fresh. It's all about business and school. And that's who I want to be as a person. But I also do have to have fun with kids. But school and business is the main thing for me because the product, it's amazing.
Well, I have to let you in on a little secret. Being an entrepreneur is not easy for adults either. So
Right.
you got a great start,
Yes.
and it's really interesting because, time management is such an important part of entrepreneurship. And if you nail that now, which is
Right.
apparently you're doing, it's only going to get easier later on. And, there's a saying, if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person, right? Because they're good at time management, and you realize you could squeeze in so much into every day if you
I,
manage your time properly, or you can waste it all on Instagram all day, So either way, so you're really packing in the most of your time. So between the both of you, right? How who has what responsibilities? So Josh, what are your responsibilities? And then Shay, tell me what your role is in the company as well.
so my role in the company is I'm the CEO of the company. My responsibilities is I teach business and youth entrepreneurship workshops. I do sales pitches, TV interviews, pitch competitions, and I'm continuing to learn the day-to-day business
Mhm.
operations.
So you're the pitch man. You're the pitch man.
Yes, yes, I'm the pitch man.
Yeah, and as far as me, I'm the COO behind the scenes. So I do a little bit of everything from A to Z. So I'm doing teamwork. I mean, I'm doing building. We're doing the calls. We're doing the navigation. We're doing the operations of getting the deals done. So I mean, it's just A to Z. That's all I can say from A to Z.
So
It's
you're the
everything.
internal engine. That's
Yeah,
making it
right.
work.
And the engine of that makes it all work. He's the face, but as you can see the face, he's just not the face. He has a lot of roles himself as well. And so, like you said, I'm the engine behind what he does.
Mhm. Yep, and you both certainly, had a lot of good experience at the Walmart open call. Let's get into that a little bit. So you guys have been on RangeMe for a little bit, and I know when you talked to James Baldock for initially you were thinking of doing the very once you got accepted, right? You put in your
Mhm.
RangeMe application, you got accepted. You were thinking of doing it virtual, but I know you had a discussion with James and he ended up deciding on doing it in person. What was the
Yeah.
experience like at the open call event from once you got there? Like, what are some of the things that you did? And then we'll get into Daymond John. So save that for last. But yeah, what was the experience like when you got there? The education, the networking, and all that.
I mean, it was truly an amazing experience. I mean, Walmart, when I say the camaraderie of just all and everybody there, the love, the support,
The energy.
the
Yes.
visions that you see, just the lights, the action, the networking. I mean,
Mhm,
they did not leave a stone unturned there. I
mhm,
mean, they made sure we were taken care of, but they also made sure that we received the knowledge and the know-how to do what we need to do to make sure that when it was time for us to pitch, we were informed with that as well. So I just love that experience. And that's why when James and I had spoke, and my initial was virtual for Mr. Fresh. And he was like, but he encouraged me that I should probably go ahead if I get the opportunity to do in person
mhm,
because it's the experience. He said it's going to be an experience that you can't really describe. And that's kind of
mhm,
how it was. I mean, we were just like high five and it's all we felt like a big family, even though we were from so many walks of life and it was so many businesses. It was never where no one supported, like we all supported each other and we felt
mhm.
like a big family, but Walmart made sure they made us feel that way. So it didn't seem like we were all separate. We all felt together. So I love that part about the experience. And I will forever be grateful that we did choose to go in person versus doing virtual.
Excellent. Did you meet a lot of other entrepreneurs there and get to talk with other brands?
Yes, the networking was phenomenal. I mean, we got so many cards, so many connections, so many numbers. Yes, I mean, it was like I say, it was a few days to remember to learn. And
Mhm.
to this day, we're actually connecting. And a lot of the different people that we actually met, we actually had started doing business with a few
Yes.
people already.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And one of the things they do that I really like is they will bring back brands that were previous golden ticket winners that are in the stores now to give advice to newcomers or people who are coming.
Mhm.
So like I know like Molly Bees was
Mhm.
there
Right.
and they won, I believe, last year. Fire Department Coffee, they won last year. Both of them were on hand to kind of mentor other brands. And I'm sure there were other previous winners that won. Those are just two that I know of because they do a lot of work with us. And I know Luke personally from fire department brand. So they bring others in as kind of mentors, but they also bring people like Daymond John in as a mentor. Um, so tell us about that because Josh, I heard you got to pitch to him and have him critique it.
Yes.
So tell me
Yes.
what it was like.
That was an amazing experience to go up on stage and pitch my product to Daymond John. He was able to critique my pitch actually,
Mhm,
so I can go on to winning the golden ticket, of course.
mhm,
But that was really an amazing experience, and I was able to get a lot of knowledge from Daymond John because he's a very knowledgeable person,
mhm,
and that's something I really like about him. And also, I look up to him as a motivator and also an inspiration to me to continue to move forward with my business. And that's how I view Daymond John.
And he, he did say, he was like, well, maybe, he'll eventually be on Shark.
Yeah, Shark Tank.
You know what? We get a lot of both brands on RangeMe and at ECRM have been on. We've gotten a lot of Shark Tank brands. I think we work with probably 100 brands. In fact, there's a former ECRM employee who launched the brand, grew his business through ECRM and
Wow.
RangeMe from like 200 stores to 20,000 stores,
Wow.
and got a Shark Tank deal. And you see that path a lot. Once they get a deal with Shark Tank, they end up making their way. They're usually on RangeMe anyway when they do that, and then they end up going to ECRM sessions. And we actually had Daymond John at one of our general merchandise ECRM sessions, and we brought the Shark Group. We brought 20 brands from the Shark Group, right, which is the
Oh,
group
wow.
that Daymond John owns that manages the companies he invests in. And so we had one room that had 20 of his brands that were doing pitches, and he did a fireside chat. So I got a little taste of that experience, with him, but I didn't get to pitch him. So that's that is education that you really can't get anywhere else. So what did you do? What did you learn from that? Was there something in your pitch, like some advice about pitching that he gave you that you can apply?
Yeah. So things that he told us was like make sure we focus on the pain points. He
Hmm.
was like, when it comes to the customers, make sure you put like, because we're problem solvers. That was
Right.
one of the key things that we explained to him, that we are problem solvers and we solve the problems of actually getting rid of stinky, stale smell. And he
Hmm.
loved that part because of the air fresheners. And he was like, so that's one of the key things. He say, focus on the problem point. And then also, our products are made with 100% essential oils and
Hmm.
they last a long time. And so he really focused on that too. He was like, so make sure you hit it home with the essential oils. He said, make sure you talk to them about how long it lasts. So he was like, stay more in the product
Hmm.
of what it does and the benefits. He said, and then you'll do well. So we did exactly what he told us to do.
That's invaluable advice. I mean, it's something that it's we try to recommend or educate brands as much as possible on how to pitch buyers. And yeah, that is one of the main things that we say is, you're here to solve problems. Sure, you're here to pitch your product, but in the end, the buyer, what they're interested in is growing their category. Sure,
Right.
products are great, but their concern is not your products. Their concern is their category. So as long as you can help them grow their category by solving problems, that's what they want to hear. So that's always awesome advice. And now, how did he pick you guys? I'm sure there was a lot of people wanted to do that. How did you do it?
Okay, so well, in actuality, there was okay. So they did the first pitch where they did five,
Hmm.
and then the second half had came, and it was like I believe it was like a 5 and 1, to where they were like with the three things and the five. So me being Mama Fresh, they were like,
Determined.
right? They was like, so who's next? And I made sure I raised my hand for Mr. Fresh. I was like, he's next, he's next. And so Daymond John was like, I hear the voice, but who is it?
Right.
And then eventually he looked over and then I said, it's me, Mama Fresh. I'm picking it for Mr. Fresh, or you can come and finish the product. He was like, well, come on
Come
down.
on up, Mr. Fresh.
And so we were the 6 people, and that was the amazing part. Because, like I said, they chose from the audience. But again, sometimes pitching is not as easy as everyone thinks, right?
hmm
So sometimes you are afraid, sometimes you are nervous.
Yeah.
But I always explain it to Mr. Fresh is that whatever makes you uncomfortable, do it. And so
Yes.
that was the opportunity. It was Daymond John from the Shark Tank. And I'm like, you may be uncomfortable, but we're going to do it. So I raised my hand. I said, Daymond, it's us. And
You know
actually,
what?
during that time, no one else had raised their hand.
Yes. And Josh, your mom just gave you very good advice there. Always dive into what makes you feel uncomfortable because
Right.
that's the fastest way to grow is to get out of what you want to do is get comfortable being uncomfortable. Embrace
Right.
that discomfort and really, because that's how you learn. We're all new at something. We all start with one follower. We're all doing a pitch for the first time. We're writing something for everything we do. There's a point where we do it for the first time and we're gonna suck at it or we're gonna be nervous. So, but that's the point. You do it again and again and again. So that's great advice from mom. And you saw it in action, just going out there and
Right.
and going after it. So
Exactly.
so that's awesome. So now what's next? What are you doing with what is the process now from this point going forward with Walmart?
Um,
I understand you probably have a lot of follow-ups to do, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of follow-ups to do. Also, we're going to continue to build our brand. We're going to continue to be customer focused. And also, we're going to take advantage of the opportunities we have at Walmart because it's not just Walmart. We can expand and dive into many categories at Walmart. And
And that's
yeah,
the opportunity that we get is like you say, it's many follow-ups that we're going to do. And so, like I say, it's building on the things to make sure that everything is the way that it needs to be chef ready and everything. So
Mhm.
we're in that process now, but we should be in the store soon. So
yeah,
look for us because we're super
That's awesome.
excited that
That's
we
awesome.
were actually chosen to be in the stores to have the Mr. Fresh air fresheners. And
yeah,
that was like a lifelong dream that he has been wanting, even though he's only been in
yes,
business for 5 years,
No, but
five
look,
and
it's they call that, we joke around and we'll say it's like a 10-year overnight success, right? Because nobody's an overnight success. What you don't see, right? What the newspapers don't report about, the magazines don't report about, what's not shown on Instagram or anything is all of the grueling hard work and sacrifice for years that went
yes,
into making that overnight success. So,
exactly.
there's always a lot of groundwork and starting small and, just, being scrappy until you hit that point. But now you have that point. So, so you're going to be in the stores. So now I guess you're just figuring out with Walmart where and how you're going to be
Yes,
merchandising all that, the logistical
yeah.
stuff.
exactly. So we're figuring out the different places, the areas, how many stores, the counts of things like that. So we're just in the constantly follow-up part. And that's what I explained to him. I said, that's a process as well. But he's
Mhm.
used to it now because like I told him, just how you just said with sacrifices,
Mhm.
just growing up, he sacrificed a lot to be here.
Yeah.
He basically had given up
hmm
many summers to where when you get out of school and the kids are able to have vacations and time, he actually does his business. But I told him that it'll pay off.
Yep.
And if you see, it has paid
Already
off
is.
for the golden ticket
Right.
Yep.
And
Walmart.
And also another thing I was in the process of getting the golden ticket. I was so determined to get in the golden ticket. I prepped. I was ready. I was ready with my pitch. And also that day we had 3 meetings. We had to pitch for 3 different categories that day. And that was a lot on me, but I was still determined to getting the golden ticket. I was so just straightforward on what I wanted. My eyes on the prize. I know my product's good. I know I'm a 15-year-old kid entrepreneur. I know they love youth. I know it's all about family,
hmm
and I knew what I was going to get that day, and I was happy with success at the end
And
of it.
that's one thing that everyone asks, because he was the youngest there
Yes.
again that day. And so they would ask him, they would ask about the product because we had our product with us as well. So they were amazed by, how it smelled and, the use of it, the benefits. But they would ask him, they said, so what is your goal of being here? He said, oh, I came to get my golden ticket.
Right.
So for 2 days, he told everyone straight. They was like, so what is your goal? He said, oh, I'm coming to get my golden ticket. He said, I came to Arkansas to get my golden ticket from Walmart. So he said that for 2 days straight.
Right.
And when he actually get the golden ticket and received it, everyone said he said exactly what he was coming to do, get his golden ticket from Walmart.
The power of having that goal. So
Yes.
now you said you did a lot of prep work. So how many times did you practice your pitch? Like how did you prep the weeks before you got into Arkansas?
With prepping my pitch, I think I went over it at least thousands of times. 100%. Yes. I went over my pitch. I had to get everything ready for when we went in the pitch room because we had a sign for the pitch room. We had to get the product ready, the tray set up. So the prep work I guess it was a little hard, but I was still able to get through it. And with the pitch, I had to critique my pitch, see how I wanted to have it. Even Daymond John critiqued it even more than we critiqued it. So that was mainly. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it took. I'll say that once we got accepted, we were accepted back in August. So it only really gave us a month to prep.
Right.
But he actually, when I say, because he's in school as well.
Mhm.
So every day after school, the presentation, the numbers, the information, learning what he had to say, because again, I can pitch the information because I know the information.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
again, this is his business, so he has to be taught as well what he has to say from the numbers, from the A to Z. So again, he knows the operations, from his business as well. But again, by him being in school, I'm full time and he's part time. So he has to learn the groundwork of the business as well in order to pitch it. So it takes time. So every night, 7 days a week, he has to, and even if it's just an hour, he still has to make sure he dedicates that. Yeah.
Right.
And what's amazing when he goes into the pitches, he doesn't use his paper.
No.
He pitches from knowing the information. And that's what amazes them. They're like, wow. He'll sit it down. He doesn't want the, like when you put the pitch on the screen, he doesn't want that. He'll give you the hand copy. And after that, he just goes.
And
That's
and
great.
the ending of all of that, it's like you do the pitch, you do everything, but when you go into the room, you bring the energy. It's all about the energy and how you present yourself.
They feel it. They definitely feel it.
Yeah.
It's because I do a lot of stuff in public as well. And that's the thing is they feel that energy. They see the energy when they see you gesturing and your whole body is into it. And they notice that. They feel it. It comes across. Even if you're virtual, you say, and I see you still doing it, your hands are moving, we're all virtual on the screen, but it's still, they feel it. Even if it's in a virtual environment, when you move it around, that's why I can't use virtual background because I move my hands too much. I look like Neo from the Matrix, and so I just have to have a real one behind me. But yeah, it definitely comes through, and that's awesome. I'm so glad that you guys had that experience. Now, is this your first major retail win, or what other kind of wins have you had, and have you had some others through RangeMe?
Where you're probably right now.
Yes. So in St. Louis, I would call myself a local celebrity here in my hometown. My products are located in Schnucks supermarkets, Deerberg supermarkets, Mobile on the Runs gas stations, Phillips 56, and other convenience stores in the Midwest. And this is Walmart's the biggest retailer in the world. So this is definitely a huge gig for us.
Yes, but one thing we can talk about is the Mobile on the Run.
Yes.
So tell them about the Mobile on the Run.
In Mobile on the Run, I've only been there for a 9-month period, and only in the first 4 months, I was #1 in the scent category for most sales for my air freshener.
That's awesome. So that's the mobile convenience stores, right?
Yes.
The mobile on the run. Yeah, that's great.
Gas stations, yes.
Well, this is a perfect product for that. I mean, it's perfect.
Right.
Yeah,
especially someone's driving and they're smelling their car and they're like, oh, we need to do something about this. It's a great impulse buy right there.
Yes, and that's the true thing about the product is that it actually is a car air freshener, but it has evolved to be a home freshener. But our customers, because our business is basically customer focused, our customers told us basically over the years that they love it in their cars, but they truly also love it in their home. So it evolved from being from the car to the home. That's why we call it the car and home freshener, Mr. Fresh.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I've seen on your website for over the news stories how it evolved, where it started as just a car freshener, but now it's for the car and the home. So
Exactly.
That's great. And how long have you both been on, have you been on RangeMe? And give me your thoughts about how you leverage RangeMe.
We've been on RangeMe, I believe, for 3 years.
Hmm.
I believe it has been 3 years, and James was more so the representative that I have worked with, and he's very knowledgeable. So I do love that about RangeMe is that you get a personal rep once you do go in. And James had worked with me for a while back and forth, and even though we didn't get picked maybe like the first year, he
Hmm.
still always encouraged me. He was like,
Yeah.
Shay, don't give up. Like,
Hmm.
stay in here, stay focused. He always would tell me to make sure we updated our information, keep it current, make sure if there's anything we wanted to change, make sure
Hmm.
we had a variety of products to offer. So those were a lot of things that he really taught me when, we worked with RangeMe. Then the new feature that you guys have as far as like the insights with the data, we
Hmm.
worked on that. So it became very valuable with the information. So when the site, when our portal was already updated and Walmart chose us, I didn't even know it. All of a sudden I received an email and I believe it came from RangeMe. And I was
Hmm.
like, oh, so I thought it was my daily, what I get, my up to date, let me know what's going on with the campaigns. So I opened it as I usually do. And, when we opened it up, it was like, it said,
How
congratulations.
loud were you screaming when you opened
Oh my God, we screamed. We truly screamed. It was like, oh my goodness, we screamed. I mean,
it?
just loud.
Yes.
Like we were
And
jumping up
I
and down.
was I was really excited, and I was so happy that I was able to share my innovation and my idea and go pitch it to Walmart,
Hmm.
which is the biggest
A big
retailer
win,
in the
a
world.
huge win. Now, I think also there's another valuable thing there. So you just mentioned, and I didn't know this. So you applied before and did not get picked.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah,
So
I believe I applied for Walmart, was it twice?
yeah,
Maybe. Yeah, twice, I believe. Yeah, and we didn't get it.
and you see, that's something that's very valuable to learn too, is that it's not the value of persistence, right?
Yes.
And consistency, because a lot of times it's not the fault of you or your product. There's nothing wrong with the product that you didn't get picked for. It could
Yeah.
be the buyer, the trends at that time. It could be so
Mhm.
many other factors that come into play where your product is just not a fit at that particular year. But next year or the year after, things may change in the market, change, the buyer may change. There's different trends. Maybe all of a sudden people are now into essential oils and they weren't before. So it's important to just keep at it, keep at it, keep at it, because there are other people in that situation. They don't get picked, they don't get they get upset, which anybody would. But it's like, no, just keep doing it again and again. And when your time is when it's your time, you'll get picked. And this is a perfect example of it.
Yes.
Exactly. And we were picked after the third time. So we were
Excellent.
good, grateful.
Third time's the
And
charm.
Yes.
And also, I wanted to talk to you about my story of going to Walmart. With going to Walmart, I was actually a little nervous on adapting to the community there. And
Hmm.
when I stepped into the room and the what is the auditorium, when I stepped into the auditorium, the energy and the feeling that I had was like of acceptance,
Hmm.
because it was different and wasn't the same as something if you go to something that's dry or something that's boring. It was something that was fun. They're all about
Hmm.
fun. They're all about the community, and that's something that I really liked. And I was able to adapt to the community in a good way. And I really like that about Walmart. I really
The
love it.
energy, it just feeds on itself,
Yes.
and yeah, everybody
Right.
gets into it, you know. So, well,
Yes.
listen, I wish you both the best of luck. Congratulations again, and I look forward to seeing you expand into Walmart and beyond over the next few years.
Yes.
Yes. And to leave you with something is that for everyone is that if I can do it, so can you. The sky's not the limit. It's only the view. Keep
Exactly.
striving, keep going, and you will succeed and your dreams will come true with hard
Hard
work
work
and
and
determination.
determination.
I'm going to leave it at that because I can't top that. So, listen, thank you both for joining us. And again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.